Shalom. First and foremost, above all things, I want to give all praises and honor and glory that's definitely due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Radash. I'd like to give a special double honors to our elder apostles on down at Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect. May the blessing of election be upon your household, all you sincere brothers and you few sisters out there that listen and take heed to the true doctrine of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, spoken by his servants, the prophets. And I wanted to go into, not forsaking the gathering of the brothers, of brethren. And Lord willing, I hope and pray that this will be edifying. It is always a good thing to be amongst the brothers, that share this true doctrine and speak the same things, because it's a rarity to, especially in the life that we live, because the Lord gives us a lot, and in that lot, you're a lot of times you find yourself around a lot of non-believers than you do men of like-mindedness in this truth and knowledge. So, when you get together, which, a lot of times, it's most of the time the weekends, sometimes, brothers may get together and, it just depends your situation. I know me personally, the times for me to get with brothers would be the weekend. Salakia. It'd be the weekends. And so those weekends, we go out on the highways and the hedges. If then there's times we, us brothers, we gather together, do a lesson, and afterwards we talk, we comfort each other, encourage each other. The spirit is heavy amongst those who believe in this truth and knowledge, man. And it's such a, you feel the spirit of love, where brothers are really do have genuine care about you, from your elders on down, man. And it's a beautiful thing. The elders have, as the shepherds, they have great care for the sheep, just like Yahweh Shai. So they come in that spirit of Yahweh Shai, man, having that great care for the sheep. So in turn, you want to have that same spirit amongst your fellow brethren, And so, without being, without further ado, I'm going to go into it. And go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 11. Wherefore, comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do. Yeah. And, on the weekends, there are times when all the brothers of the camp get together, and that's what we do. And even after camp, there's times when we may do something. We may go and share a meal or what have you, brothers give words of edification. I know last Saturday, not this past Saturday, but the last Saturday, we had went amongst the camp, and after the lesson, you could just feel the spirit was there, because it was a very highly spiritual day, man, and brothers were just just seeing in the spirit, brothers was steady encouraging, um, beginning with our elders, Elder Apostle Ricard, he was there, and a lot of times, we were, talking about certain things, but somehow or another, it always came back on, thinking about the scriptures, whatever was going on, man, and it's like we were all just kind of in the spirit, and I know me personally, I was talking to a brother, and a lot of times we just, always salute each other, but we never really got a chance to, just talk. And we talked, and we really enjoyed each other. We was just really enjoyed really enjoyed the conversation with that brother, and we were, going over certain scriptures and certain things that the brother was going over, because being the brother is older than me in the spirit, I'll say. He's older than me in the spirit, so he, I it was good to hear from that brother, and he giving me things, sharing things with me through the scriptures that I did not know. And I was thankful for that, and I was thankful for that conversation with that brother. And I know it was all through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai for me to grow more and learn, so I can apply as well as edify, So this is a great thing for brothers to be amongst each other, man. So we can't neglect that. It's a powerful thing, man. I'll do verse 12 of 1 Thessalonians chapter 12. And we beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you, that are over you in the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and admonish you. Verse 13, and to esteem them very highly in love for their works' sake, and be at peace among yourselves. Yeah, so we want to be at peace among each other, man. And that's the thing about being amongst the brothers. You feel that inner peace. You feel that love for one another, and that love, that sincerity. And you're not going to find that amongst just, you don't find that with your family. It's just a different thing, man. So it's a different vibe, but it's the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai that's there. Which shows you that, we're among men of the Lord, Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 25, not forsaking the assembling ourselves together as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as ye see days approaching. Yeah, so the days that are approaching, we got Jacob's trouble is here, but it's going to get a lot worse, and it's going to hit full throttle. And once it hits full throttle, it's going to be times like that you remember, because you're going to have situations that we be in, and you want to reflect on some of those good times that you had being amongst the brothers, learning from brothers, and we're so blessed because, we have an elder apostle that we see, on a regular, so that's a blessing. And then to also be amongst our elders as well, that's what a blessing it is, man, because those brothers have been in it and toiled a lot longer, and they have so much experience. And being a young brother like myself that's in this ministry in the spirit, you want to be like a sponge and soak up as much as you can, learning from these men, like Elder Apostle Ricard, and the other brothers that are the other elders of the camp, as well as the other men, the officers, and so on and so on, because, like I said, again, it's a blessing to have brothers that have been toiling along, and it's not also talking about our elder apostle Ricard and the elders, those beloved brothers, but also brothers who have been in it before you, because like I said, I'm still young, I'm still learning, so love to be around that it's a beautiful thing, man. And so we shouldn't forsake the assembly of gathering ourselves together. Make as much time as you can to be amongst the brothers, man. Because these times you're not going to be able to get like because really, be honest with you, just in my humble opinion, this is the closest thing you got to the kingdom right now. It really is. This is the closest you're going to get, to the kingdom, being amongst brothers that share the same thing. You hope for the best for them, they hope the best for you, and just it's a beautiful thing, man. You can't get that amongst Jake, man, because Jake is in the spirit of always trying to up you or try to think that he's better than you, just because of that spirit of Esau, Like I say, it's better to be around it because it helps you grow. Being around men, on a higher level helps you, build up on that, build up, because at the end of the day, there's levels to this thing, and you want to keep rising. And through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, if you're, patient, and if you're, you have a willing ear, hey, you're gonna be all right, So I'm gonna go again here and close out here with Psalms chapter 133, and I'll start here in verse 1. A song of degrees of David. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, and that's the spirit that, I speak for myself as well as those brothers that were there last Saturday. How pleasant it is to be amongst brothers who dwell in this unity, man, because this knowledge that we're attaining and growing in is it's awesome. And to be amongst brothers that feel the same way and are in union with everything that's spoken in this true doctrine of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, it's a rarity to be amongst men. It's a rarity to have that, because like I say, you go back into the world and you're around a bunch of people who are, as Elder Apostle Brakar always say, on they're low vibrational people. All they think about and seek is the things of this world. They're not seeking this truth and knowledge. They're not seeking the kingdom. Their kingdom is here. This place, Babylon, that's the kingdom they seek. They seek for greater days here in Babylon, and it's not going to happen. Things are going to continuously get worse, and we as brothers that gather together, whether we're doing the work or whether we're sharing a meal or just being amongst each other, it's a beautiful thing, man. And like I say, it's just an awesome thing that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has brought men together from all different parts of all different backgrounds and bring it together. And it's like the scriptures say, but if it be of men, it shall come to naught. But if it comes from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, you you can't stand against it. You can't go against it. So through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, it's all they're doing, man. So all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai for putting us men together, and speaking this truth and knowledge, and truth and unity, and all minds as one. We all speak the same thing. Scriptures say, let all things be done in decency and in order. And this is an example of it through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So, Lord willing, I hope and pray that this was an edifying lesson. Once again, I want to give all praises and honor and glory that's definitely due to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakak Radash. Until the next time, Lord willing, I'll say shalom.